Hello YouTubers, thanks for joining me once again here in the man cave. I've got another maintenance video planned for you on the VW Transporter. So this evening I'm going to be taking full advantage of this beautiful spring evening and changing the oil in the gearbox. If that's something that you're interested in and want to know how to do it, stick around and I'll show you. So we're all good to crack on. Van's jacked up, axle stands in place, don't need much tools. Ratchet, 17mm Allen key, wire brush and some WD-40 or similar, and obviously your bucket to catch the oil. So I'll show you where we loosen. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean the threads. Just get some penetrating spray on there. Let that soak in. So this bit here is the drain plug. So you need your 17mm Allen key. Fucking bastard. Oh. Right, so I've come underneath, given the threads a clean, let that soak in for a little bit, got my 17mm Allen key, that fits in there, and the ratchet to go with it. Now, I don't know when this was the last time this came off, because I've never done it since I've had the van. So we'll give that a little bit more. Now then, top tip, and this is very important. Before you remove this drain plug, you need to make sure that you can open the filler plug. Right, there is no point draining the oil out of it if you can't then fill it back up. Now then, the filler plug is there, just level with the drive shaft. So remember, make sure that comes undone before you empty the oil. nice and gently. In the most awkwardest place to film. Now the van isn't level, so we might get a bit of oil coming out. Get rid of that. There we go. Stick that somewhere safe. So now that we know the filler plug undoes, we can confidently undo the drain plug, knowingly that we can fill it back up. Don't force it, it's only aluminium. Nice and gentle. And it's out. This doesn't take a lot of oil either. I think it's just under 2 litres. Don't quote me on that though, I need to check up on it myself. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave that drain whilst I go for something to eat. Right, before you put your drain plug back on, just have a look at it, and sometimes your oil can tell you whether your gearbox has got excessive wear on it. You might have iron filings in there, which would indicate that something's not good inside your box. But what we're going to do, we're going to give that a bit of a clean before putting it back. Sometimes what you get on these as well is the drain plugs are magnetized, which then helps the swarf gather to this rather than floating around in your oil around your box, which is quite clever. Just get rid of the gunk in the middle. that's as clean as I'm going to get it. So make sure there's no bits of rust or anything sticking to it that's going to get inside your box. And then gently make sure you put this back by hand with your fingers first, ensuring that you don't cross thread it. Before you use your spanner. And if you just have a look at where I'm holding the ratchet, I'm grabbing it here, not the end. Well, see, you grab it at the end, you've got more leverage, which I don't want to over tighten it. So I'm just going to nip it up by hand, and then just ever so slightly give it a little nip from here, and then that's it. I'm happy with that. Obviously you should torque it up to the recommended torque setting. However, I'm confident because I've done this before. Give that a good clean. And then we can carefully get the oil out from underneath the van, hopefully without spilling it. So here's the oil. I mean, looking in there, it looks really black because it's in a black container. So what I'm doing is I'm just having a look through and see whether there's any traces of water or any of them kind of iron filings in there. But that looks pretty healthy. Makes me question whether it actually needed changing. However, I will sleep better at night knowing that it's changed, and will probably be good for the life of the van again. So let's get some fresh stuff in the box. So there we go, just under 2 litres. Put the lid on this now, ready to go to the recycle centre next week. Not down the drains, people. Time to put some fresh oil in the box. Right, this is what I've got. It's, not sure how you pronounce it, Febi Bilstein. It's a good brand. I'm actually not too sure whether this is what Volkswagen actually use. It's made in Germany. Got it from Eurocar Parts. So there's my 2 litres. What I plan to do is, I bought this specifically for the job. What I plan to do is feed this down from the top of the van, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, in there the tube out of this fits into it, and then hopefully I can get it into the box with more mess, less mess. I'm just going to stick a bit of masking tape over the end there so that when I'm feeding it down, through the engine bay, it doesn't pick up any dirt, which is then going to transfer into the box. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. Now this is new. Just make sure there's no bits in the end of it that's going to end up inside your gearbox. Just tape up one end. Okay, so hopefully now that will feed down through the engine bay into the gearbox, and then pour the oil in. Hopefully that stays in there. That was a bit of a tight fit, but it did go on. So here we go. I need to just give it a little squeeze. And worth checking that the pipe is still in place. Happy days. So I've put the oil in, got that much left out of one tin, so that's just under, it's about the same as that. So what we need to do now is I've left that pipe draining as to make less of a mess, I hope. Pull that out now. There we go. And then now that drain plug or level plug is exactly that. It's a level plug. So if you overfill it, when you put the van down on flat level ground and there's some seeping out of that hole, in theory you would just let it seep out, catch it in a container, and then when it stops it's at the right level, hence why it's called a level plug. So drain plug is back on, everything is cleaned. Then what I plan to do is, once it's on flat level ground, take the drain plug off, recheck it and top up as necessary.